Got 2019 Grizzly 700. The rear wheel bearings are shot. That's fine. Anyway, by changing both of them, it's be kind of like a tutorial, because there's really not no videos out there on showing how to change them, but they are shot. So you're obviously going to want your two bearings, a grease tool that you can get on Amazon to grease your bearings, a grease gun with marine grease, because water will get in there, push your grease out, and you have blown bearings all over again. Like, see me being in the frame? I'm gonna go back and cut that.
You should keep that.
Alright. So don't do what I did, because now my lug nut is stuck. So now we turn into how to get a stuck lug nut off. You just re-thread it on there. Give it a little wiggle. And now it's off. So once you got your tire off, you wipe the sweat from your eyebrows, because I know you're sweating. Lay the tire somewhere. And now, you're left with this. So what you want to do next is pull your brake off, because your brake holds this on, which this is also you can tell it's bad. It's shaking. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be solid. So you got two 12mm bolts. Don't ask me how I know, because if you own a Yamaha, you'll be changing these things out a lot. Or at least if you mud rod. So you're just gonna reach back there, pull, oh, there it goes. What y'all think? Y'all think I should bore this thing out? Put a cam in it? Maybe not bore it yet, not until I sink it. And you got a second one down here underneath. Get you one of these nice magnetic bowls from Harbor Freight, so you don't lose stuff. Also a nice set of ratcheting wrenches. Oh man, they're a lifesaver. Just put your brake pad off to the side, or your caliper. So now you're left with a 10mm right here to pull this off. And you have access to that. Your castle nut. And that you're gonna want to ugga-dugga. It'd be a whole lot easier to work on if I didn't mud rod. I probably wouldn't have to work on it if I didn't mud rod.
Yeah, well, that ain't no fun.
That's true. How long is this bolt?
Probably longer than it needs to be.
Definitely. So you got one like that. It's like the same thing as on your floorboard. Some junk. You're gonna put that off to the side. That little plastic piece comes off. Now, start taking these off. I think it is a 14 and a 17. So you want to get you a 17 with your nice impact, because impacts are fun. They make things quick and easy. Gonna put it on there. You're gonna ugga-dugga, and that nut comes off, and the nut stays stuck. So you're gonna want to tap it on the ground, get it out. And I would go ahead and unbolt the bottom too. You know, now that I'm doing this, I need to take this off. Don't listen to me. Alright, so you're gonna get you a socket. Take this off with your ugga-dugga. It's gonna be kind of hard unless you got a big ugga-dugga. And if you don't have an impact, I'll pray for you. Cause this thing ain't no slouch. Cause you got that's bent in, but you gotta try to force out. But an Ugga Dugga just makes life easy. Don't lose your axle nut. Don't be like me. Check your splines. Splines look pretty good. They're well greased. So grease them, because they will be seized if there's no grease. And it is not fun getting off. You gotta beat it. So now, once you do that, you can move on to the next step, and that is removing this. So it is a 17 and a 14 if it is stock. Whether it's stock or not, I don't know. Now the fun part, getting this bolt out. Shouldn't be too bad. I just have to convince it, you know, talk in his ear. With a little bit of love, it'll come out. And you got these little bushing covers, I don't know. There's some little caps with rubber pieces in them, which mine are wore out. Just don't lose them. You can probably just go ahead and pull it off. And there's a little pin inside of that slides out. That's supposed to have grease on it, but it doesn't. It's probably why my bike rides like a brick. Well, that's how it goes in there. Set it off to the side.
It's alright.
Alright, so anyway, after you get done complaining about how hot it is, you're gonna pull the bottom one out. And then hope your bearing stays off the axle, which mine did. Same thing on the bottom, pull this stuff off so you don't lose it. So now you're left with this. And you can tell my bearing's blown because this fell out. And this is, I could probably just push it out if I wanted to, which it's not going out, so no, I can't push it out. But it's close. So now you're gonna take this.
Good, huh?
So now that you're on the vise, you got a little snap ring in there. So you want to get you some snap ring pliers, and if you're anything like me, you don't know where anything's at in your shop. So now that you got your snap ring, you're gonna go in and grab it. So what you're gonna want to do is squeeze and kind of pull it out, and mine's stuck. It's fantastic. It's gonna fly. I just know it will. Then we're gonna have to try to find it. And you're gonna want to grab it before it flies off, because once it flies, you're not gonna find it. Then you're gonna have to order another, because bearing kits don't come with them for whatever reason. So so my snap ring was up here. You're gonna want to flip it upside down, because you gotta beat it the same way your snap ring was. So you're gonna want to get you a fancy seal and driver set from Harbor Freight. Or if you got a socket that's about the same size as this, that's fine too. So you're gonna want to find something that perfectly sits in there. So you can knock it out. So you just find something that fits in there. Try not to hit this wall, because if you break that, then you got nothing holding your bearing. So now you're just gonna hit. So if your bearing's falling apart like that, it's messed up. This bearing is stuck. So you should be able to see it starting to come out right here, which it's not. So I'm gonna need a bigger hammer. Never be afraid to go big. Yep. I got just a little bit of love goes a long way. And that's it. It only took quite a few tries and a very wedged. Yeah.
No damage.
I gotta get that out. It is?
A little scratch? No, right here.
Oh, I ain't worried about that.
Oh, what? Your bearing is massive compared to mine. Mine's like half that size.
It's just a wheel bearing game.
It's just a wheel bearing, man.
Now to get this out might be a little tricky.
Hold that down like a movie camera.
So that's your outer race. Sometimes it's a lot harder to get out. Probably not actually. So if you got something that's a hair bigger to fit and just a hair better on here, it'd probably be a whole lot better. All right, so now that you got your hub and no bearing, make sure no scratches. Or scratches are fine, but no deep gouges. That's smooth. Mine's pretty smooth. So we're gonna move on to the next part. You wanna get you, let me make sure this is the right tools. Alright, so this is a ball joint service kit for 2 and 4-wheel drive vehicles. It works perfectly with setting in these bearings. You know what else works perfectly with setting in bearings? The old bearing. Use the outer race. What you really want is this. You know, if you go start beating on your bearing, especially on the inside, you'll have a ruined brand new bearing. This is gonna take a minute. So you're gonna wanna set this up perfectly. Ideally, you wanna heat this up and cool this off. It makes life a lot easier. But my life's not easy, so we're not gonna make it easier. So you're gonna set it up perfectly, alright? The bearing and seal driver set, yeah, you're gonna wanna get that. You're gonna wanna put that on there. Now once you got it in this predicament,
Make sure it's straight. Oh, yeah, it's straight.
you pretty much get your impact, you stick it on top, just like this. And you make sure you don't have a scrawny, weak kid like what I have holding that, because it will spin on him and probably snap his arm, but we're gonna go for it anyway.
Whoa!
Hold on. Make sure your impact's going the right way too. Make sure you also don't have a dead battery. Stand by. So now that you got a fully charged battery, now hope that he can hold it. And just ugga-dugga. Now once you get it pretty close, you're gonna back it off. Get you the size that perfectly fits around the outside of this bearing so you don't mess up your inner bearing. And you're gonna put the taper end in.
Hold up. Yeah, you can keep going. Good.
You'll probably be fine.
Alright.
Now, make sure it's tapered so you can push it in. And once you start pushing it in, get your old bearing. And I'll show you. Now you're gonna get your old bearing. and line it up right on top. You probably flip it over. Probably put this one back. Just get your old bearing. I just got bit by a horsefly. And you line it up and you send it back down. Because what's better than your old bearing at pushing bearings in?
That's about right.
So now, where the problem lies is now you gotta now pull your old bearing out.
If you don't have a vise, you might as well get one.
So, it's that easy. So I would save that for your next bearing, because you know I got two. So now, you can obviously see that this is seated in past this little gap to where you can get your snap ring back in. So, first step, remember where your snap ring is. It's right here. Second step, get the right snap ring plier. Don't let it fly. Get it on there good. Squeeze. And let go. Then if you want, you can get your little flathead. Just kind of tap along the edge of this. Just kind of down and in to make sure it's set. And I'm confident it's in there. I'm just gonna check. Alright, yep, it's in. So now, once you get to this point, I'm gonna go back to the four-wheeler where Sam is hiding because you know, he's a hyper.
He's camera shy.
He is camera shy. Now that you got this, get your little tool, stick it in the bearing. I don't think it matters which way. So you're gonna put it in there. You're gonna get your grease gun. So now that you got your little tool, it just drops in the bearing. Take a grease gun, hook it up to the nipple, and you just pump grease. And so what if you overfill it? It's all gonna come out anyway. Give it a couple pumps, and you want to look and see if you can see any grease coming out. Which I don't, so we're gonna keep going. Now I see grease. See, you got a little bit of grease. But what it does is it just forces the grease into that little crack in there because it's essentially two bearings in one outer race. It is so hot. So now that I took that out, so now you don't want your stuff to be looking like mine, all dry and there's gouges missing in here.
I ain't no good.
No, it's not. Well, we're gonna run it anyway. So, while you're already in here, see this? This is supposed to have grease on it, so you're gonna put grease on it. I'm pretty sure they're the exact same top and bottom. Get some grease. Get you some grease. Get you a nice coat. And you're gonna want to slide it in here, right? So that's one down. And don't forget about your little rubber caps. You want to just put a little bit in there just to keep everything happy. Then you got your bolt. You want grease on your bolt too. Not your threads. You gotta do the other side now. So now that you got that, I'm gonna grease this just to where your bearing does not get stuck to your axle, which I was lucky enough not to have happen. And then also a little bit on your splines too. You don't want to take everything you learn and do the opposite of it. So make sure your brake caliper bracket goes toward the front of the bike. You want to slide this on. Get the bottom in. Once your bottom's in, you can then work your axle in. maybe. Just like that. Then you're gonna go ahead and throw your bolt in, if you can. Once you got that in, you can try to get your top in. It's gonna be pretty fun. Goodness. Sometimes it needs a little bit of love, or to just be lined up. There we go, just some love. I just kind of finger thread these on just to where it stays. And you don't want to use the Ugga Duck on here because I stripped out many of these on an old Big Bear I used to have. I'm gonna get you a 17 for the nut side and a 14 for the bolt. You're just gonna want to tighten it. How many foot-pounds, you may ask? I don't know. Till you feel like it. Repeat on the bottom. It's pretty tight, shouldn't come off. Now you're gonna want to take all the grass off from your previous rod. Probably clean those. It's kind of nasty. Just get all the nasty stuff out. Like old grease. Then my axle's already got grease on it because I greased it when I greased the bearing. So now you can just slide it on. It's normal for your axle to move because you haven't put your castle nut on yet. So now this, you kind of want to be a little easy with it because you can crush your brand new bearing by going crazy with it. I think it's like 160 or 180 foot-pounds or something, which an impact would do very easily. But I'd like to get it back, bring the camera over here, where this little part that got punched in lines back up with the notch, and I'll just tap it back in there. So now that it's back, grab your hammer and a punch. You're just gonna tap this back, because if this comes off, there goes your tire. Now I have beaten it so much so I broke this off, and I just have to go back. I just put a red Loctite on it. So once you got that beat back on there, go ahead and get your brake caliper. Put it back in place. I hate brakes. People say they're essential. I just think they're wusses. Alright, that one started. And these don't gotta be real tight either. We can use a ratchet wrench on these. So, tightening. It's kind of snug because the stuff is like cast. I don't know what this is. Cast something. It's very weak, malleable metal, so you will definitely mal your threads flat. You don't want that. And then don't forget your little, I don't know what it is. I just keep it on there because it's like that. Little plastic retainer, I guess. That thing is like really wrong size. It's a 10 millimeter, not a 12. You're gonna put this back on because why not? This is good, it kind of finger tight too. And now my bushings are bad. See, alright, prime example. Here's how you tell that your bushings are bad. Get in on this right here. Bearing's brand new, I know that, but I still have play. Look right there. Get in close. Right there, you can see. So, maybe in the future, I might change them. Probably not. Then from here, you put your tire on and you're done. Anyway, same exact process on the other side. The front's a little different because you got ball joints. All right, chat, make sure you subscribe and toodaloo.